Hey, what is up, guys? Evan Aldo here. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin dominance today, XRP as well. Got a lot of things to talk about today, so I hope you enjoy. But first, please follow my Twitch. The link is in the description below, twitch.tv/Evan Aldo Crypto. Live streams are exclusively there right now, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on weekdays, so check that out tonight. For the show, we have a lot of fun, so check it out. And then the airdrop for BITGET, check this out. Link in the description below as well. Free $100 USDT position. You can also get an additional $100 bonus with my link down below as well. If you already have an account, you can create a new one. So let's start with Bitcoin, like we usually do. And high time frames still generally the same. I don't like the 12-day. I've talked about this quite a bit. Even though we bottomed out here already, this still was about a 30% drop down. It's pretty much always a 30% drop down when we do get this. So it coincides a lot with where I think we will bottom out. And I think it's going to be around the 400 weekly moving average, which currently is in the mid 13s. And that would be approximately after a nice capitulation down to that area, about 30% down. When would that happen? If it's like 2018, and it looks very, very similar as I've been talking about, especially on this 2-day, right here. If you go all the way back, I believe it's probably circled. Obviously the pandemic brought us down. That was another situation. And then the 2-day right here, bam, kind of like, you're just sideways on a roller coaster, nothing's happening, and just like that before you could even notice. So it does seem likely that could happen. And when did it happen here? Right after midterms. We could, in this range that keeps getting, we keep staying in. The trend is sideways. We've been in this range for a long time now. It's been, it's been over a month now in this general range. I mean, really, if you count since there, other than this bump up, we've been here for many months. So I think you could stay in this general range for longer. The other thing too, and we'll look at, let me show you the 400 weekly moving average. This is my favorite point to kind of, estimate the bottom here, because back here, this was 2015, I believe. Was it the 200 weekly moving average we bottomed out then? I don't know about that, but the 2018 bottom was the 200 weekly moving average. I think it was 200 weekly back here. This was the 300. Now, what's that pattern? 400 weekly moving average. When would that happen? If we follow the general trajectory, for a market cycle, if you still think that's intact, and I think it is to a certain extent, most likely will be, you have a bottom next month. You have a capitulation after midterms in November. We bottomed out in 2015 in January, 2018 in December. What's that pattern? November is next. So I don't see any reason to believe that won't happen. And kind of the way I'm looking at things, I think it will happen. The thing with the 12-day, this area, took longer to really bottom out in this area. It was like kind of a prolonged thing. But if it's kind of like here, this drop down 30%, don't forget about that wick down. Just count this 30% down. That could be the bottom there. And then you see something like this in the year of 2023, essentially, not too much happening, just a sideways, nice accumulation year, kind of under the radar when everybody gets bored, and then bam, you do good. What we're also looking at, it does seem likely gold and silver could be, I don't know if they bottomed yet, but there's a good shot they are, because they typically bottom about halfway through the bear markets for the S&P 500. We'll probably talk about it more. I'll talk about that more when I have more time, tonight on the live stream. But that does look interesting. It does seem like we're in a good place for gold and silver, hopefully. And then, the yellow X's here, I think you're going to have at least one or two more on your 7-day. It's usually 4 yellow X's. Fun fact, in the NASDAQ, it was 4 yellow X's to the bottom. That would be, the case to come down to about 13. And yeah. The thing here too, I mean, we're in the bear market. You're coming into the green on the 12-day or 12-hour, excuse me. It could easily be a situation like this where you just come down about 15% here. I kind of feel like you're going to stay in this range for a little bit, and here's your case to stay in the range until right after midterms, kind of like this November 11th or something. You just keep coiling up and nothing's really happened. We're at a big bull and bear fight around 19K. We'll see when, finally a side wins. It does seem like it's going to be the bearish side in my opinion, but, kind of the technical targets are up here around 21 for the bullish side, and I like where you're hitting off of the bearish side more likely. 300 weekly moving average, approximately 17K. I think since we've been so close, it is likely you're going to come and test it, kind of like a magnet almost. And then same deal, with the green money flow could easily, just roll over. I feel like most likely it's going to be like this 5 hour. You just roll over and kind of hit the bottom area right here. This is a huge area. This is going to maybe take a little bit longer to break because double spider lines and the bottom of the range, you could hit this another 2-3 times in the next week or two before you finally break downward, especially if this is like how October 2018 was almost to the day. It's looked like that so far. 3 hour coming back into the red, typical of the bear market. And let's see, lower time frames, hourly, nothing to really say there. 30-minute kind of coming out with the money flow. So I would lean a little bit more bearish there. And then on Ethereum, let's take a look at Ethereum. This is I had a pretty good trade with this. Haven't had an outcome yet, but a pretty good short with this lately in the exclusive Discord. If you guys are interested, link in the description below, but I would recommend waiting till November 1st to sign up because you will be double billed. That's how Patreon works. And yeah, technical target would either be up there or, kind of down to this area around 1150. The weekly is printing a green dot. This is not a bullish div, not a bullish div just yet. You do have a bullish div printing though, I believe probably, no, it was printing a little bit, not printing on the 16 days. So until you get that and it confirms, I wouldn't give it much hope there. Let's just see if there's any, other bullish type things printing on some of these, maybe the 10-day or something like that on some of these high time frames here. Not yet, and I don't like the money flow in the 10-day just curving into the red here. I believe, this would almost be the case for the bottom. But the thing is, too, if you kind of map out how it was, after you curved over, this still is a 35% drop down. And then this one, this is like an elongated. I don't think it's going to take this long, but you absolutely could come down, 62% here. You got to realize for ETH, there's probably more paper hands in it. There's people who FOMO'd in with the merge. So I feel like they could capitulate, and that's what could kind of bring Bitcoin dominance to come up higher. I think this is a big area to look for a potential bottom if we do capitulate around 500. So yeah. So VWAP coming down, been above the zero line for a while. In the 10 hour, that's pretty bearish in my opinion. Hitting off the top of the range, just like Bitcoin. Same deal right there. And then 4 hour, very similar with that money flow. Look at that. What was that type of, drop downward 13%? So 13-14% right back to the bottom of that area. You could even have another wick down there and come back into the range. Who knows? It's an interesting sideways market. But yeah. And then lower time frames. What I'm looking to potentially enter a short or add to my short when this curves into the red here potentially. That could be a good area. So yeah, in lower time frames, money flow generally coming out. Let me just show you what I've been seeing on Bitcoin dominance because there's some rare bullish signs on Bitcoin dominance right here, especially this weekly. Because if you look at, historically at times we've come into the green on the weekly here. Let's see, 34% upward. That was big right there in 2018. I don't know if it's going to be that much, but if you capitulate a lot of altcoins go to zero, you could see this go up to like high 40s relatively soon, top of this range right here. Also kind of this was a nice 16% jump. I think you could see the bottom of the market once we jump up to the high 40s kind of, and that could happen relatively quickly based on kind of this crossover, some of these, especially if we drop down quickly, because if you do have a crash, Bitcoin dominance usually jumps up pretty quickly. So that's what we're looking at. XRP, I want to talk about it because I know some people have been kind of bullish on it lately. There's been some news on it lately. I'm not really seeing, too much of a reason to be bullish on it. And let me just fix this range. I had this drawn a little bit too downward. And this range we're in, just rejecting off of that, bearish divs right there. I believe the thing that's pretty bearish on this was 12-day money flow generally coming out, VWAP curving down. Not the most bearish thing, but this is pretty bearish. This drop down, this money flow crossover on the, on the 10-hour 10-day right there. Excuse me. Here to here, that was all the way to the pandemic capitulation. I feel like maybe you could come down. I mean, I know the EXRP fans will like this, but another like 60, 70%. And I think that is kind of likely for some altcoins to kind of break downward and hit test these areas again. Um, so yeah, it's one of the ones, I've been kind of swing short on, and especially with Bitcoin dominance looking bullish. I don't know. I think you're just nice, clean rejection off this area, and you're just going to keep losing trajectory here. I thought there was a blood diamond. Yeah, confirmed. I believe confirmed blood diamond on the 8 hour too. So that's typically going to be more bearish too. So this seems like kind of an easy, never financial advice, anything could happen, but kind of an easy, like swing short downward from here that I'm in right now. And if you guys are interested in learning more about that, the exclusive Discord, like I mentioned before. That's it, guys. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check out my Twitch tonight. I'm premiering at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And BITGET link down below if you want to trade. Really good promo with only my link. You can create a new account if you want to get that. You need a VPN if you're in the US. And let's see what else there is. My course, a lot of people have really liked it, evanaldo.com. Discount code bearmarket20. So check that out, guys. All right, guys, have a good one. Goodbye.